Hello guys, my name is Hugo, welcome to my channel. Right now I'm in my production van and I want to talk about why have I replaced all my lights to Aputure lights. And right now I have 100X, 300X, 300D, 600D, Aputure Nova, MCs and other lights. And the reason why I have all these lights, besides the point that they're really high quality lights, is the app and radio connectivity. The thing is that all Aputure lights, they communicate with each other, so they can create a network. So each light has a radio module and they can speak to each other, and each light can receive and transmit signal. So for instance, if you have like multiple lights within decent range, proximity, they can speak to each other and you can control them, and as long as you stay next to one of them, you can control them remotely. And even that's not enough for you, which is not enough actually for me in most cases. So there is this device, it's called Sling Bridge, and what it does, it basically communicates with all the Aputure lights. So as long as you stay close to this device, it's going to send radio signal, which is 2.4, to all the lights, and now you don't have to be next to the lights in order to communicate. You just have to be close to this one, because with this one you connect with a Bluetooth signal, and then from here it just sends a radio signal. And with this you can control your light by the app, simply by the app. And with this thing, it's actually, the signal is very reliable, and you can do great things. And there is like all this connectivity thing, it's a huge deal actually, because imagine having like a set when you have multiple lights, you have rigged lights up there, you have lights somewhere in a corner, like all over the place, you know. And instead of going to make adjustments, you can just have your iPad pulled up and control all the lights, all the settings. Like DP or director asks you, oh, can we make this light this, can we make it brighter, can we make a different color? You can just do everything from the app, which is, I think, pretty great. So the Aputure basically went in a way like Apple and Tesla did. Like there are many great electric cars right now and computers that have great hardware, but what Apple and Tesla does, basically it does the software. So you can't really get away from Apple phones, because you're getting used to this all the iCloud thing with all these apps and synchronizing your data. Same with Tesla, they went with autopilot. There is no other car that can give you the autopilot that Tesla gives you. So you kind of get stuck with what they give, because it's really hard to walk away from the convenience. And basically this is the convenience that Aputure gives you, because all this app connectivity, all this remote control is a big deal, honestly. I have like right now, as of right now, I have almost all lights replaced except Arri tubes, and I think Aputure is cooking their own tubes. We'll see if I'll replace my Arris with those tubes, because if Aputure is making tubes, they have to be pixel tubes. If they're not pixel tubes, then I will never replace my Arri tubes, because the pixel tube is a big deal when you can do this animation going from one side of the tube to another side, flowing, you know. So that's a big deal, because many other tubes on the market, they don't have pixels in them. They're usually just one solid LED that cannot be manipulated. So we'll see what Aputure gives us. In terms of like quality and the overall experience with Aputure lights, is I had all kind of lights. I had tungsten, HMIs, sky panels, pretty much all like most used Arri lights, and eventually all of them got replaced with some kind of alternative from Aputure. Simply like the LED quality is great, honestly. At this point right now, it used to be really bad, but right now at this point they usually outperform even the HMIs and even the sky panel. Like for instance Nova, it has a better color rendition, score, and even the power output on a feed is actually higher than on a sky panel. And actually maybe because it uses the new standard, which is RGB WW, where you have one diode for warm light and one diode for cold light, where Sky Panel uses the old technology where one white LED works for warm and cold and being compensated by other LEDs, the RGB ones. Usually Nova compared to S30, but it's actually size-wise it's somewhere in between S30 and S60, and the output from Nova is almost as good. It's about like 75% for what a Sky Panel does, but in RGB mode, which is surprising because usually all LED lights, when they switch to RGB mode, they lose a lot of output. They can lose half or even more output, and with the Nova, you don't lose as much, you know. And it's in RGB mode, Nova basically outputs almost the same or maybe the same as the Sky Panel does, which is really surprising, because when I had those lights next to each other testing, I was really surprised by performance of Nova. So that's why basically I sold my 2 Sky Panels and replaced them with Novas. HMIs and tungsten, like many people will maybe say it doesn't matter how much power draw lights have, like when you shoot. No, it actually does matter, because just think about it. You can power 2 300D or X 600D Nova on one outlet. Can you imagine you can power it without overloading the line? That's pretty incredible, because in the HMI and the tungsten days, I could power only 2K or M18 on one outlet. And think about it, if you go somewhere where you don't have any power source, like in the desert somewhere, you can just have a simple generator, 2000 watt generator, and you can get away with many cases using those lights, because you can power a lot using LED lights. Many DPs and many gaffers, when I showed up with it and showed them my Aputure lights, they were really hesitated. They kind of didn't like it, they didn't believe in this. But right now, from time to time, I see them actually switching to Aputure stuff as well. I see them buying stuff, I see them using more and more of this light. And you know what, like Aputure never paid me, Aputure never communicated with me. They didn't ever send me a light ever. It just I'm just sharing my experience because I really like their products, and I think their products really good, and that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share like why did I actually replace like Arri lights and my other lights with all Aputure lights. It just simply because of ease of use. That is why. So I hope this information was useful. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.